Thinking, is it working? Let me know if you can hear me, child, because this little microphone, y'all know I got some new microphones. And this little microphone, I'm about to just not use it and use my what's it called, like I've been using. Let me check, child. I'm gonna be so mad if that didn't do it. Hold on, let me check it. Mic check one. And did it too. Oh, okay. Cause listen, I'm finna say now I double checked it this morning, child. I don't know why it was blinking, but it looked like it done got his life in order. Anyway, I'm back. Um, and child, I don't know what be going on with this equipment. But anyway, y'all, so today is a good day. We're gonna have a great, amazing day. Jeremiah 47 is what we're doing today for Bible clarity, and then we'll get into the message. It's been an interesting couple of days, y'all. Let me just say that it's been an interesting couple of days. Oh, I forgot. We ain't on TikTok. Hold on, let me get my life in order. I be forgetting, child. I be forgetting because I got to get back used to coming live over here. What did I call this, y'all? Y'all know we just be getting prepared. What did I call this? Your turn. Uh-oh, drop it in the chat. It's my turn. But not my turn in the way that this is coming through today. Just my turn in general. What is that? Child, I don't be knowing. Let me go live on TikTok real quick. I be forgetting y'all that I'm back on that side of the street. So let me turn TikTok on real quick. It's my turn, y'all. It's my turn. When I was in prayer this morning, that's something I was talking to the Lord. The Lord was talking to me about is just like there, a lot of us, maybe you've been in a waiting season, and the Lord is like, it's my turn. So many of you are stepping into your turn, your season, your new beginning, your opportunity. I did hear something yesterday though that did kind of, it's like, okay, it of course made a lot of sense, but there are a lot of you who it's like being patient, right? Being patient for your turn to come, because sometimes we be trying to rush our process, but ultimately we still have to wait on God's timing for whatever is going to come in our lives. And so we be wanting it right then, but the more that the Lord just allows me to develop, oh, that's how it came through, huh? Because yesterday, so if y'all been over here on this side of the screen, good morning, dearest one, good morning. Then y'all know we've been reading the Bible. And at first we started off reading the Bible 2 chapters at a time. And this how the Lord ended up taking me to it. Because I was just kind of like calculating and I was like, well, I wonder how long it's gonna be before we actually finish the Bible. Because we're in Jeremiah. And so um I was doing 2 chapters at a time until the Lord said start doing 1 chapter at a time. So the number 245 may be significant for some of y'all. Because when I ended up checking it, and I think I checked it from the end of Jeremiah up until the end of Revelation, and it's like 245 days. And so the Lord started talking to me just about transitions, right? So from yesterday up until when we get ready to actually finish the Bible in the way that the Lord has me going, 1 chapter at a time, is 245 days. And so the Lord started talking to me about commitment, y'all. And of course, this is weekdays only, no holidays. And so the Lord started talking to me about commitment. And he asked me straight up, he was like, are you committed? Drop it in the chat. I'm committed. He's like, are you committed? Because it's basically almost another year until we finish out the Bible, reading it 1 chapter at a time. And so he was showing me just in my own journey how this is going to require a new level of commitment for me. Like, am I going to get up basically, and plus or minus some things, because we don't know what's going to happen or if things will come up. But the Lord is asking, are you committed to what he's stepping you into? So many of you, the Lord may be coming through asking you, like, hey, I'm finna send you into this new thing, but I need to know that you're committed to what I'm asking you to do. And many of the things, come on, Spirit, many of the things that he's been giving me, insofar as my own personal Bible study, have had a lot to do with commitment. Like, are you going to be dedicated? Are you going to be disciplined? Are you going to have the courage to go do what he's telling you to do? Are you going to have the strength? Now, we know we got to go to him and get that renewal and get that from him. Message motivation, but are you going to be committed to your process? Are you going to be committed to your assignment to your purpose. And so I had to think about it. And I will say for whoever needs this part of the message, not that I didn't think I was committed, but it gave me a renewed sense of commitment, because on the flip side of that, one of the things that the Lord showed me was that many of you, he's getting ready to give you something. And I talked about this yesterday. Y'all, I hope my camera ain't dirty. I think I talked about this yesterday, to where he's getting ready to add something to you. But again, it's going to be something that you want to do. And he was even showing me how he's opened up, because something I talked to the Lord about, I guess maybe about a week ago, was how things are not going back. Like, we can't go back to the way things used to be. And the more he allows you to receive, the more is going to be required. So, but I had a moment where I just had to give him thanks and give glory, because I was like, dang Lord, like you put me back in a position where, even if it's just for a little while, until then he does the next thing. Because of course I have school 4 days a week, but I don't. But it was like him giving me the opportunity to go back live in the mornings actually opened up time for me, because it's requiring deeper study for what he's asking me to do. Does that make sense? So it's like the Lord rearranging your schedule for some of y'all. He's going to be rearranging how you're moving forward. The thing, like he's getting you on track to make time for the new thing that he's getting ready to do. So this is going to be a test of your commitment, okay, to see, are you going to be disciplined? Are you going to stay dedicated? Are you going to be obedient? I heard something this morning, and I do not know this fella's name, but I heard something this morning as I was just trying to post some video, some content somewhere, and he was literally just like, you know, he said something, and I don't know his name, but it was a reel I saw on Instagram, and he was like, we weren't supposed to learn by experience. We were supposed to learn by faith. And he gave the example of how it was like the Garden of Good and Eve, like when Adam and Eve was in the garden, and he used a stove, but it's like, instead of having to go and touch the stove and see if it's hot, when God just tells us like, that's hot, don't touch it, we just be like, oh, okay. And it gave me such a different understanding of obedience this morning, y'all. Good morning, dearest ones. Good morning, y'all. Like the live, share the live, share the love. Where he was like, and that's how we kind of have to listen to the Lord. Like, when he tell us something, just be like, oh, okay. He wants us to get to that level of commitment and faith with him, that we know that when he tell us something, we know it's true. We don't have to go try to figure it out. We don't have to try to, it's like, you just go, you trust in faith. You have faith in what he's telling you, and he wants that level of obedience from us. And I was like, man, that was such a good analogy of how of obedience this morning. So for some of you, maybe that's hopefully that give you some understanding about obedience. Come on, 7-Eleven, about obedience and faith. And like, the Lord will tell you to do something, and he's never going to tell you something bad. He's always going to tell you something that's going to save you, protect you, help you. That's why we can trust in what he's telling us, because he's not going to try to hurt us in any type of way. And so the Lord is requiring us to have that kind of faith, where if he says something, it's just like, oh, okay, Lord, I trust you. Oh, okay, Lord, I believe you. And so you don't have to go try to, like, faith around and find out, not faith around and find out. So anyway, it's that kind of faith, and that kind of relationship and commitment that I'm trying to have with the Lord. When he tell me something, I just be like, yep, Lord, you right. It's that like, I'm trying to get to that level of understanding and obedience with the Lord, where it's just like, I ain't got to try to find out, because I didn't anybody had to ever find out some stuff. I didn't had to faith around and find out too many times, child. I don't want to do that. Instead of just having faith and trusting when God say, no, 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 no. Instead of doing that, that's how we be ended up messed up, y'all. You have to do. I had to do that too many times. This is the importance of us just saying, what you say, Lord. Daddy, you say no. Oh, my daddy said not to do that. He said that wasn't for me right there. He said that right there, that wasn't for me. And so I'm not trying to be in that season where I got to find out some stuff more. Okay. So that was something that, look, message motivation We gonna faith around and find out, but we changing that dynamic. We changing the way we finding out, right? All it do it. Let's get to it. Good morning, Priscilla. Good morning. Good morning, Mookie. Good morning, Vera Montez. Jared is in the building on YouTube. Y'all, if I have not asked y'all to do this, I should be posting tomorrow or yesterday's episode. Y'all make sure y'all give me a follow on Spotify. Can I say that without getting banned on this side of the street? I don't know. Probably. Um, y'all make sure y'all check out the message on Spotify. Okay, I am uploading messages over there. I have all of them uploaded over there except for it's only a week because I've only been over there a week. So make sure that you give us a follow on Spotify as well. The message with Touche, y'all can find it over there. Okay. All that do it, let's get to it. Y'all, Jeremiah 47 is not very long. I don't have a lot of notes on it either, but right now the Lord is in, he is on it. He is on it. He is basically going through a lot of the several these last few chapters of Jeremiah are all about the Lord coming back, and basically he picking up, he cleaning up, right? So today this is the prophecy against Philistia. So the Bible clear TCAP, we just got done with Egypt, okay? Them Egypt, where everybody want to run to Egypt and think they safe, and you ain't safe. And so we just got done with the defeat of Pharaoh foretold. You can go watch that. Let's talk about Philistia because they got next. Okay, that was the message yesterday. God got next, and He's not forgetting about anyone. So this is the prophecy against Philistia, and we know one of the most famous stories with the Philistines, or I be wanting to say, why I want to say Philistines because I'm country, probably so, huh? I be wanting to say Philistines, and I don't know why, but anyway, the Philistines. We know, of course, the story at least that I know the best with the Philistines is David and Goliath, and when they were battling them. So, ole, do it like the live, share, love. Here we go, y'all. The prophecy against Philistia. The word of the Lord that came to Jeremiah the prophet concerning the Philistines before Pharaoh attacked and conquered the Philistine city of Gaza. Thus says the Lord, behold, waters are going to rise out of the north and become an overflowing stream and overflow the land and all that is in it, the city and those who live in it. Then the people will cry out, and all the inhabitants of the land of Philistia will wail, because of the noise of the stamping of the hoofs of the war horses of the Babylonian king, the rattling of his chariots, and the rumbling of his wheels. The fathers have not looked and turned back for their children. So weak are their hands with terror because of the day that is coming to destroy all the Philistines and to cut off from Tyre and Sidon every ally who remains. I feel like this is a big part of what the message is going to be about today, because the Lord was talking, he kind of stopped me on this part. For the Lord is going to destroy the Philistines, the remnant still surviving of the coastland of Caphtor. Baldness as a sign of mourning will come on Gaza. Ashkelon will be cut off and ruined, a remnant of their valley. How long will you gash yourselves as a sign of mourning? O you sword of the Lord, how long will it be before you are quiet? Put yourself into your sheath, rest and be still. How can his sword be quiet when the Lord has given it an order? Against Ashkelon and against the whole Philistine seashore, there he has assigned it. The end. Okay, told y'all. So it really wasn't that long. So let me get my Bible clarity notes for Jeremiah 47. So here we go. As a hashtag Bible clarity, y'all drop that in the chat. Hashtag Bible clarity. Okay. So as the Egyptians proved false friends, so the Philistines, what? Because I'm gonna say what I'm, because who gonna, why, the daddy, he don't care what, who, he don't care. I'm gonna say it because I want to. So the Philistines had always been sworn enemies to the God of Israel, and the more dangerous because of their proximity. Y'all ready for this message? So let's talk about false friends first. Let's talk about false friends. Anybody ever had anybody false around you? And maybe you didn't know it at first, but all of a sudden you just really start seeing somebody, you start seeing their true colors. For some of y'all, can we just say this? The Lord finna get ready to reveal some folks around you who ain't got your best intentions at heart. And sometimes it be hard, and we talk about this a lot, but we're not gonna stop talking about it because we have to know that there are people who will come into your life who are deceitful. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. There are people who will come into your life who are deceitful, sent on purpose from the enemy. Okay. He will send his counterfeit people to try to sabotage you, to sabotage your dreams. And that's one of, like, we don't want to talk about that. But let me just tell y'all, like, some of you are destined for greatness. Drop it in the chat. It's me. He will send, like, you're destined for greatness. So do you think that the enemy won't send people around you who gonna try to sabotage you and keep you from your greatness, try to make you feel like you're not capable of it? Like, you got to be mindful of how the people, like, ask the Lord when you start having new people to come into your sphere of awareness. When you start having folks that show up, you got to be like, you got to vet these folks through the Lord. Like, you got to go to him and be like, Daddy, who is this and what they want? What's their motives? What are their intentions? Because ain't nobody got time to be adding new people to the camp and you on some foolishness. Many of us, we've had to go through a season where the Lord and had to remove just about everybody out your life anyway. And for some of us, the Lord will remove everybody. And this includes family. So this is not just strangers or people you don't know. This is people that the Lord will say, he will remove you from around your family. For some of you, if you've never been on a faith walk with the Lord, part of what you may end up experiencing, and this ain't everybody, but he will send you into a season where you ain't got nobody around you. It's just you and God. He will remove you from your family, and a lot of times the reason he'll remove you from around your people now is because, number one, they will keep you from the work that you're meant to do. Another reason is that there are certain people who pull on your heartstrings. And so if they pull on your heart, that means that they can also have a say so in the, like, how you move, the decisions you make, the things that, like, the God will tell you. Remember, we were talking about obedience. God will tell you to do one thing, but your family will be like, no, we don't think you ought to do that, because they many of us oftentimes have like some say so. You want your family to be happy with you. You want your people them to be happy with you, right? Good morning, Sandy. Good morning. You want your people to be happy with you. And so because they have, you have that kind of attachment to them, they can oftentimes be a reason why you are not are disobedient to what God is saying. So for some of you, think it not strange if the Lord removes you even from around your family, because he needs your complete obedience instead of you trying to pacify your family. Because and it's nothing bad, like, y'all, we all do that. We want to make our family happy, but there may be a season that the Lord sends you in where his you're gonna have to put him before even your family. Okay. um Good morning, y'all. Good morning, Mystic. Good morning, Priscilla. If I didn't say that, good morning, y'all. So that's the first part. So don't be surprised if the Lord starts revealing false people, people who were sent with the intention to uh be the ops, not the ops, okay. So the Philistines had always been sworn enemies to Israel. Some people ain't never liked you anyway. Let me just say that. Sometimes the Lord will reveal, like, you who need this message, child, you better be mindful of folks who sneak dissing, them kind of folks that'll hide, throw the rock and hide their hand, them kind of folks that'll say stuff, and anytime they say something that kind of, you know what I'm saying, like, it's almost an insult, but they say it and then be like, "Oh, I was just playing." No, I was finna cuss word. No, you wouldn't. They meant every word of that. You got to be mindful, y'all. Like, one of the things the Lord has taught me, you got to watch how people talk to you. You got to watch the things that people say, because people will be sneak dissing and low rating, and you ain't thinking about that. But all of a sudden, but some of your spirituals be like, "Hold on." And you want to be. Look, I was finna cuss. I ain't gonna say it. Message like the what? Like, what you say? Right. So, yes, Chris Curls, good morning, dearest one. Those backhanded compliments, like, yeah, oh, okay. But and the thing about it is, when you become aware of that kind of stuff, You just move different with people. You just be like, oh, okay, like I receive it. Because many of you, what's happening as the Lord elevates you and starts to show you favor. Good morning, AC. Good morning. Just and starts to show you favor. Guess what? You gonna start to see some jealousy and some envy for some folks. You're like, you may be further along in your walk or in your success than somebody else. You start seeing things happen for you, and you're gonna start to see like people's true colors, how they really feel. So be very mindful of that. Like everybody in your that in your face is sometimes, not everybody. Let me take that back. Everybody in your face ain't necessarily on the up and up. So you just have to be mindful of that. Um, the next part of this that the Lord was talking about is, you sometimes you never know, the enemy could be right there around you. And this is where discernment comes in. But y'all know, and this is what the Lord said to me about this yesterday. You may not even know all the enemies in your camp. But I tell you what, if Jesus, can we, what true story, give God the glory? Can we just say thank you, Jesus, because he is our perfect example? If he can deal with Judas in his camp and he knew who Judas was, then you can even deal with some snakes and some scorpions around you. Furthermore, them same folks that are not on the up and up, y'all, they are going to be instrumental in your training. Okay. They're going to be instrumental in your training. So just know that it's going to be all right, and use that and laugh about it. I had a moment yesterday where I had a moment of deja vu, and I remember something that happened a couple years ago, and many things that, it's crazy because many things that played out a couple of years ago have since been replaying out, that the Lord has allowed me to remember. And so I was just like, oh, okay, Lord, but can I just say this to somebody? Can you give yourself some props, give yourself some credit? Because I even said this to the Lord. I was like, man, Lord, I remember when this happened 2 years ago. I was a completely different person, y'all. I hadn't went. I had like I was. It was my ego. I was very prideful, and so I can remember there was a similar situation that happened. I want to say it was 2023, and I remember that I responded so much differently. I remember then I got mad and I got my ass on my shoulders, and then all of a sudden I was like, it. I responded so different, y'all. And I just told the Lord yesterday, I was like, thank you, Lord, because the same things that used to trigger me or make me feel some type of way don't get the same response from me anymore. And so I told the Lord that. I laughed about it and I was just like, man, Lord, like, yeah, I remember that. And he was just like, yeah, but look at your growth. Drop that in the chat. Like, thank you, Lord. Thank God for growth, right? Thank God for growth, because we're just not, you grow and the Lord starts to show you a different version of yourself. And now you just like, man, I'm so different than who I used to be. And the things that used to bother me or you used to take offense at, because something I've learned at this stage as well is there's a spirit of offense that you will be offended. And this was something that I definitely had to deal with, y'all, where I would be offended by stuff. And now I just be like, oh, okay. Thank you, Spirit. Let me say this to somebody else as well. Come on, 726. Come through higher self. Listen, for some of y'all, you ever been in a situation? Let me tell you another way that you'll know that you've grown in some sort of way. I'm not the person who got to be seen all the time. I am more now in this season of my life. I'm more a sit back and watch kind of person. I'm more, and the thing about it is, because some of you, let me also tell you this, a big part of what's happening is the Lord is helping you to overcome a spirit of rejection. Sometimes the Lord will put you in places. Sometimes he'll put you in rooms. Sometimes he'll put you around people. And can I just tell you, drop this in the chat. I ain't got to fit in. You don't have to fit in. But I need somebody, come on, Spirit. I need somebody to understand that the Lord put you in those particular places for a reason. And I'm more of a person in this season where I can sit back, and if I don't have anything to add to a conversation, then I don't. It doesn't mean that I'm not trying to fit, because I'm not trying to fit in, because I'm just going to be me regardless of where I'm at. If I don't have anything to say, I can just sit and be quiet and I don't feel rejected. I'm not worried about who's talking to me and who's not. I'm very comfortable exactly where in any place that I'm in because I'm comfortable in myself. So for some of you, the Lord has you in a season where He's helping you to overcome a spirit of rejection. You're not going, many of you don't realize that you're not going to be accepted. Jesus wasn't accepted, so why would you be accepted? And one of the things the Lord always brings to me is if Jesus can go through it, then we can too. So many of you, He's helping you to overcome a spirit of rejection. You can be in a place and be the sore thumb sticking out, and you can be okay with that. Be there to do what God put you there to do, and not what men or anyone thinks that you should be doing. Sometimes you don't have anything to add because you'll find that even your conversation is different. The things that are interesting to you, I said this to the Lord the other day. I was actually leaving school, and I just be listening to conversations, but I don't always have a lot to say. I'm more just kind of sit back and observe and just kind of see what's going on, right? But I had this conversation with the Lord where I remember that my previous self, who I used to be that person who would always just try to find something to say. But it was also when I was very worldly, and I tell anybody this, like, I'm not perfect by any means, but there are certain things that I just don't have anything to say about anymore. Like, I don't go out. I don't club. I don't do any of those things. I don't really like what Touche, what you do for fun? Read the Bible, talk to the Lord, make tarot cards. Like, the stuff that I do doesn't necessarily relate to the people all the time that I'm around in this season. Does that make sense? Like, the people that you'll find yourself associating with don't necessarily they don't want to talk about God, but I love to talk about God. So this is where the Lord, you kind of just get into this space where I'm not uncomfortable. There may be people uncomfortable around me, but that's not my business. You know what I'm saying? So, but at one point, so as not to feel rejected, I would always insert myself into the conversation. Does that make sense? Whereas now I don't feel the need to do that because I no longer have a spirit of rejection. I don't feel any type of way if people don't like. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I just don't have nothing to say. And so I don't know who needed that part of the message, but the Lord talked to me about it yesterday to where I don't care where I'm at. I'm comfortable in every space that I'm in because I don't feel the need to try to fit in. I don't feel, and I need someone, because the Lord is going to put you in places where you're going to stand out, but He wants you to be aware that it's a spirit of rejection that He's helping you to overcome. Jared said, that's me. People feel weird around me because I like to sit back and listen. And I just kind of be like, oh, okay. Like, I don't, I'm not that person anymore. That's just got to, well, and I never really have been. I can sit back and I'm more of a, let me see how people move. Let me see how you operate. Let me see, like, I'm more of a read the room kind of person, especially now. And I didn't always used to be like that. So I don't know who needed that. Sandy said, I'm definitely the quieter person of those that I used to be with. Like, yeah, like I don't say a whole lot. I just kind of be, and then for me, if I'm in a place where I got to focus, because I just told y'all, there's some stuff that Touche is having to learn that is completely foreign to me. So there's like, let's just use this example. Like, one of my classes, y'all, is something that I have no experience with. I don't have a lot to say. Why? Because I'm trying to focus on learning. I'm trying to focus on paying attention to what's happening. And so it don't make me feel no type of way if I don't say nothing the whole class, because this particular class I'm focused. It's the same thing like when I'm in Bible study, like I'm focused. I block out these distractions. I'm not studying y'all conversation because what I'm learning is important to me. Does that make sense? The Lord put me here for a reason. So in order for me to do my best, I'm very focused. And I'm not all key. I no. because I got to learn this. There's something about this that I have to know because the Lord brought me here for a reason. So I talked about this with the Lord last week because I was like, child, I ain't got time to be playing when I'm trying to figure out how to do something and learn it and gain understanding. Um, and let me just tell y'all, because some people think, well, I don't want to say it like that because that might sound mean, but I'm going to say what I'm going to say. I ain't got time to play because can I just tell y'all the important and why the Lord is bringing this up? Because do you realize that your vision, your goals, and your dreams matter more to you than anybody else? Drop this in the chat. It matters to me. Like them folks that surround you, they don't care nothing about whether you're successful or not. And I mean no disrespect to them. But if God has given you a vision and given you something to accomplish, do you think that them folks are like we are here because this is Touche's dream and I'm only here for Touche? No, y'all ain't showing up for me. You showing up for you. And so I told the Lord that last week because I was like, man, like I ain't trying to be antisocial, but what the Lord has me doing matters to me. Like this is important to me. My dreams, my visions, my goals, what I'm trying to accomplish, that matters to me. So, and what you trying to do and your current situation, that ain't got nothing. Look, I'm not gonna say that because that's a lot of cuss words, but like that, they don't care what you trying to get yourself out of. They don't care that you like this is it. Like failure is not an option, right? So you have to be that committed and that focused to be like, well, listen. And now, if it comes to something that is going to directly affect me, I can be cool as a fan. I ain't got nothing to say until what you're doing directly affects what I got going on. If it's going to direct me, my grades, something like that, then we gonna be on some different type of time, and you gonna get a little more than what I'm giving. But if you don't care about what you got going on, why would I care? Just because what I'm doing is not going to help you be successful as you continue to move forward. Right? It matters to me. So this is why you have to stay focused on what you're doing and how you moving, and you don't have time to be worried about other folks, child, because they not worried about you for real. Okay. Um, Miss Stingray says it matters to me staying focused, no distractions, because ain't who has time for that? Okay. Um, this was random, but I wrote it anyway. Check on your children. Okay, check on your children. Part of what we read in Jeremiah 47 was talking about, y'all, let me turn the air conditioner on because I don't have it on yet. Part of it was talking about how, like, sometimes when you got stuff going on, everything else, we don't in there it talks about how people gonna be so focused on saving themselves that they forget about their children. If you have children or if you have someone that's important to you, just make sure you checking on your people. Okay, all of us, y'all, have something going on. All of us have life going on, and it's very easy. And I'm bad about this because someone asked me to do something several months ago, and I be so focused on my own self sometimes that I can forget to come outside of my bubble especially with the people that you care about, right? So just make sure that you're checking on your people because everybody dealing with something. um just make sure. So I said I wrote your children, but your people, just make sure, because understand this, many of you, have you gone through a season of your life where ain't nobody checking on you, ain't nobody checking for you? Like, I know this to be true. Like, very many of us, are you the strong one? You might be like the strong one. Chris Curl says, you just reminded me, when you go strong, someone in the past that says what you've been doing, they get bothered because you're not with them in the same place. We've moved on. True story. True story. Many of you are the strong ones, right? You're the one that everybody depends on. You're the one that everybody calls. You're the one that everybody looks at as the strong one. Does that make sense? Everybody seems to think like you always got it all together all the time because you can still show up and do your work and do what the Lord has called you to do. And you don't ask anybody for anything. So people think you don't need nothing. People think you don't need support. People think you don't need somebody to check on you and just say, "Hey, I'm not like I'm not okay." um a lot of times as the strong one, a lot of times as the person that people depend on and rely on as the backbone, we often don't have that support. So that's why, we over here like, how y'all doing? How y'all feeling today? I hope you're doing well. Like, I hope you're feeling good, because it feels good to have someone just say, hey, how you doing? You all right? Because we don't get that a lot. And a lot of times that's what makes us feel like we're alone. And this is coming through as mentioning, because yesterday Jared posted a TikTok, and he said it as a result. I didn't know why the Lord told me the number 1213, but he posted a TikTok and he tagged me in it. And he was talking about like an onion. I'm not going to go into detail. Y'all can go watch it, go follow him on TikTok. um but something he said where it was just like, like defense mechanisms, how we deal with things, how we all process differently. And so that kind of started me to thinking about how you never know how someone is dealing with their season, their wilderness season, their journey. Um and so check on your people, right? Check on your people. And then some, because this is the thing, you want someone to be able to check on you as well. And a lot of times that's why we feel like we're alone. And one of the things that he mentioned, is that, of course, we're never alone because we have a spirit team around us. We have people that help us, that are here with us. We know we got our spirit names, spirit guides, ancestors, angels, and ascended masters, right? Of the highest and purest light vibration and energy. We know that we got this help and support, but sometimes it's like we need those human things as well. Now, I will say this, we have, you have to come to the understanding. Everybody don't believe that you got a spirit team. And if I don't know how you would think that, but I'm not here to judge, right? But understanding as well that when you go into a season of isolation, you're going to have more spiritual support than you have physical support. But then the Lord will actually bring you back into a season where you have physical support in addition to spiritual support, if that makes sense. So there's gonna be a time where it's just you and God, and you just dealing with, it's just y'all, and you're gonna have to know that He's there for you, that your spirit team is there for you. But you'll also come back into a season where the Lord, He may strip and remove everybody, but He will send you back into a season where you're going to have some folks surrounding you. Or He will do like this and put you in communities where you're going to have support, where we're going to uplift you and elevate you. So just know that. Okay. So check on your people. And just as a side note, how y'all feeling? Y'all drop it in the chat. How y'all feeling this morning? How y'all feeling? Because sometimes you just need to say it, right? Sometimes you just need to say it. Sometimes you just need to say, man, today ain't the day, right? And hopefully by the time you leave the message, which is always the goal, right? It's one of the things I pray for, that you're feeling better and feeling uplifted as we leave, because the Lord wants us to have that opportunity to just say like, man, today ain't it, or man, it's gonna be a great day. It's the beginning of the day for me. So I'm a firm believer that you can set the tone for your day. You decide what kind of day you're going to have. And one of the things that you come to do with Jesus is like, even though you learn to expect trouble. Remember yesterday we talked about it briefly, where it's just like, you gonna deal with some stuff, right? You gonna deal with some stuff, but when you just know that God got your back either way, you just be like, you know what, I'm good, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's not, you know what I'm saying, even though life is gonna happen to you, or even things are gonna come up, y'all. But when you resting in the Lord, you just be like, but I got this too. Like, I got this too, right? Erica says, feeling great, better than the last few weeks where I was very emotional. I feel that. No support team. The sneak diss is a problem. It says AC, hey, I'm doing great, getting ready to job hunt, definitely hopeful. Congratulations on your job hunt, dearest one. um that is a blessing, and the right job, you're going to find the right job and get the right thing done and get the right thing for you. I feel really good, y'all. Today is a good day. Every day is a good day because I choose to make it that way. And when you just choose it, and I kid you not, y'all, the Lord will just make you have a good day, because you just be like, man, oh, okay, Lord, well, such and such happened. What can is it something I can do? No? Okay. You process it, you deal with it, and then we just gonna keep it moving. Jared says, I feel good. I conquered my first TikTok tactic of the enemy. I conquered my first tactic of the enemy and got it confirmed. Thank you, Lord. Um, yeah, child. Yeah. And thank God for God. Once you learn the tactics of the enemy, man, you just be like, oh, okay, you recognize it a little sooner and keep it moving, right? Um, what's next? The Philistines' allies turned on them, and God cut them off from every helper. So there's sometimes the help that you think is going to be your help will not be your help, because the Lord is going to make you understand that the Lord is your helper. Okay. Um, because in this particular case, like Tyre and Sidon were people who they typically helped the Philistines a lot, but the Lord made it so that they didn't have no help and no support. Sometimes the Lord will cut off your assistance. He will cut off the people who would normally help you. This could be family as well. And I've talked about this before. We can sometimes get upset with family, but there will be seasons where the Lord will not allow your family to help you. It's like how he hardened Pharaoh's heart, right? There'll be times where he will harden people's hearts against you, that they're not supposed to give you any help. And if you can learn to just look to understand that everything is orchestrated by God, he will cut people off, right? He will cut people off so that you are and harden their hearts. But it's not because he wants you to be upset with them, it's because he wants you to depend on him. Okay? He wants you to depend on him. Remember, we're in a season where the Lord is like, all you got to do is listen to me and trust me and believe in me. And a lot of times we'll get mad at the people for not helping us. You too, AC, have a great day. Um, we'll get mad at the people for not helping us, but the Lord is not allowing them to help you because he wants to be your real and present help. So be very mindful of that, as some of you are stepping into seasons where you're going to not have the help that you're used to having. Depend on the Lord for your help, and you'll be like, oh, okay. I think we talked about it the other day, Psalms 121, right? Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord who created heaven and earth. So this is about, for some of you, there may be someone that you thought was going to help you, thought was going to assist you, thought was going to, you know what I'm saying? Like you maybe you could always depend on this person, and all of a sudden they ain't got it to do. It's not because they're trying to, and in some cases, it's not because they don't want to, but the Lord may not be allowing them to, or maybe they're just not able to, because that happens as well. Sometimes the people who helping you need help too. What? So just remember that, like, all of us are on the same mission of trying to get to somewhere else. So just remember that, like, everybody needs some help, so sometimes they're not able to. Those who trust in help from anyone but God will find it cut off when they most need it, and will be put into confusion. So that's what we're basically speaking on now, is like, listen, don't depend on man, depend on God, because God's the one who has your back. Okay, he's the one who has your back. War is the sword of the Lord, and as the word of God, um, so that his rod and sword shall accomplish. The Lord gonna do what he said he gonna do now. It ain't no getting around it. It ain't no trying to navigate through it. If he said he gonna do it, he gonna do it. And he meant that, just like the judgment that he's passing down on everyone that we're reading about now. They were agents of the Lord exacting his will. So even if it's the enemy, y'all, just be mindful that the Lord is still using the enemy. Even if you feel like your enemy is coming up against you, please remember and give all credit to the Lord. Even that is something that the Lord is allowing to happen. And because what he was telling me on this part and what he's telling me now is, we're not going to give the enemy credit. Okay, drop it in the chat. No credit. Okay, no credit. What does he mean by this? Don't give the enemy more credit in your life, more power in your life than you need to give him. Okay, if anything, this is the will of the Lord that is happening. This is what the Lord is allowing to happen in your life. I think one of the things where we mess up a lot is we give the enemy credit when we should be giving God the glory. Come on, Spirit. We giving the enemy credit when we should be giving God the glory. If the Lord is allowed, it's like Job, right? There was nothing that happened to Job that the Lord did not allow to happen. He had trials, tribulations, he lost his children, he lost everything. Everything, everything. But the Lord was still very much aware of everything that Job was suffering through. So if you can use Job as an example, so you may feel like the enemy on your neck, but there's nothing that's happening that the Lord is not aware of. And so give the Lord the glory and not the credit to the enemy for anything that's happening right now. Any way that the enemy is coming up against you. I just heard finances. So it's like some of you may be, there may be warfare against your finances. But understand this, that the Lord is even allowing that. Why? Because He's going to teach you to depend on Him for your resources and everything that you need. Thank you, dearest one. So, this is where it's like true story, give God the glory. He knows that you're in a financial bind, He knows that you're having financial difficulties. One of the ways that the enemy, the easiest ways for him to trigger us is when he start messing with it, when he start messing with our money, when he start messing with your money, all of a sudden, because now you start to kind of get into this mindset of, I don't have it, I ain't got it, I ain't got it, I ain't got it. But that's one of the easiest ways and one of the most deceptive tactics of the enemy. Okay, if you just be like, oh, okay, Lord, well, because I trust you, remember the stove, because I trust you, I know that you're going to provide for me. I know that I'm going to have more than enough. I know that this is just a tactic of the enemy. This is just warfare. It's just the enemy trying to get in your head and get in your mind and be like, you don't have enough. You're not gonna, it's not gonna be enough. You're going, y'all, I'm telling you, this is a true story. I don't know. We're not doing money today. One of these days I'm gonna use prosperity clarity, but it's just a tactic of the enemy. We serve an abundant God. One of the ways the Lord um even talked to me about this the other day, and somewhere in my notes I have it written. When the famine and all this stuff that we see happening right now in the world, y'all, a shortage of this, a shortage of that, all this stuff, all this calamity. Do you realize that when you over here and you being obedient to God, you don't, just like, and even the story he's bringing to my mind right now was when Joseph was in Egypt, right? And Pharaoh had the dream that it was going to be 7 years of famine and 7 years of prosperity. But guess what? There was still enough. Even if it's just enough, it's still going to be enough. They still made it. Right. And so it's like understanding that the Lord will prepare you for famine. He will make sure that even in the worst of times, you still gonna be all right. A lot of what they try to do for us, even right now, y'all, it's a scare tactic to make us think that there's not enough. But I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. Can we just say, let me just tell y'all how you know it's more than enough? Because we see folks wasting money on stuff that, and now it's, I had actually had a moment last night, and was just praying for people, praying for us. Let me say that, praying for us. I'm gonna say us, because you see, and I asked the Lord this. I said, Lord, why is it like this? I said, why is it like this? My heart was hurt last night because you see people. It blows my mind, and we're talking about like money and resources, right? It blows my mind that there are people who can, and I listen, hear me and hear me well, heard me and heard me well. I ain't got no hate in my spirituals. And I'm so happy and so grateful for every person who's been successful. But there's so many things, so many people who are out here struggling, y'all. I don't social media a lot. But last night, as I was getting ready to go to bed, and before I was praying, every so often I go and do a pulse check and just kind of see what's going on in the world. And first of all, I feel like they're trying to distract us from something, so pay attention. Second of all, you see, kudos to everybody who's created success in their lives. But it's one of those things where you look and you see how so many folks can waste money, but there's so many people who need resources, who need things. And it just makes you be like, man, like, or maybe it's just me, where you just be like, it's people out here on the street and living in cars, struggling. The prices are crazy. It's so many things that the world needs, and all of the wealth is laid up in just a select few. And I just be like, I don't know. Maybe because I don't have the heart to do it. Maybe because I don't have the money. Let me keep it a buckles, right? We keeps it a buckles over here. Maybe because I don't have the money to do it. I don't know if I'd want to do it. I think I'd much rather spend money to help people have affordable housing. Why? Because I know about being homeless. There's some people that, and I can't tell nobody what to do with their money, but you see folks wasting money on stuff that is just like, for why? And I know it's because they can, but I know that it's so many people who need so much, and we can't help everybody. But can we try? Anyway, it's yes, Jared, it's definitely a distraction. So just pay attention because they're trying to keep us unaware of something. When you start seeing something that is just everywhere, they're trying to keep us from paying attention to something that's happening, y'all. So pay attention to what they're trying to keep us from paying attention to, because it's something distracting us with nonsense. It's just like, no. So I kind of see what the word is right now, and that's cool. But there's something else that they're not wanting us to see. Maybe it's the fact that all these and what now I'm gonna talk because I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. All the people up here paying bukus of money, and all of a sudden now they seeing where the stuff come from. And can we see, like, y'all, it's like stuff, okay, stuff that before we paying an arm and a leg for, we're now having the opportunity to see that it really is just them making us pay more for this. Anyway, I ain't gonna go into a whole lot of that, but I was just like, oh, okay, so now, and because it almost seems like it backfired, right? And without going into a lot of this, it almost seems like something, it backfired, and now it's making people be like, oh, okay, the plan that was trying to stop has almost opened up avenues and pathways for us to be aware. Anyway, definitely trying to distract us from something. They're using distractions and fear-based tactics to keep us afraid. And thank you, Sandy. And when you over here with the Lord, you really don't have to be afraid, y'all, because you're going it don't even matter. It don't even matter because you're going to be well taken care of. So just be mindful of that. This is the importance of just being obedient. When you over here with God, you don't have to worry about the rest of it. You just be like, oh, that's what's going on. Oh, okay. The economy and all them, that stuff ain't gonna bother you. If you do what the Lord tell you to do and stay over here and stay obedient, you don't have to worry about that. As crazy as it, because why? Because first, what they ain't doing is sending money to space. That's what they not doing. Have they ever take do you realize that instead of them allowing people to have money, which is just paper, right? Because we this is a whole nother discussion. I don't even know how we ended up on this, but we here for it, Lord. You do realize that they not taking money to keep people from actually having physical money, y'all. They burn it. They burn it. But there's no shortage of actual money or abundance on earth. There's no shortage. They're simply burning pieces of paper that they have given value to. So if they not taking the money because they didn't get rid, where did it go? They burn it so that people don't have it. There's no shortage. This is how you begin to have an abundant mindset, y'all. The money ain't went anywhere. The money is just as valuable. This is all a piece of money is. This is it. A piece of paper. And because they have put value on it. Who creates paper? The Lord. So if the Lord created the abundance, he's trying to wake people up so we can understand that there's no shortage. Anyway, that's another story for another day. This is why it's so important to develop an abundant mindset, because there's really no shortage. There's no shortage. The sword of the Lord, I read that God's sword of judgment would remain active until the work was complete. So he's going to be completing some things out. There's going to be a power shift, there's a lot of shifts that are happening, new people coming into power. Old people being deposed. Is that the word y'all just said? Deposed of power. He's trying to raise up the remnant, but you have to wake up and have the mindset of understanding in order to receive that from him. So I want to be one of them. Wake me up, Lord. Drop it in the chat. Wake me up. So, because when you have that understanding, he can't elevate people who still have a poor person's mentality. So you first have to become rich in spirit. You first have to become aware of true abundance and what the Lord can truly do. Does that make sense? Who he truly is, where wealth, abundance really come from. This is why we've been talking about many of you. He's giving you these creative ideas. He's helping you to create businesses and create streams of income for yourself, because when you own it, can't nobody take it from you. Wake me up, Lord. Ola, do it. Let's get to it. Let's get the message. Let's see what else. Yeah, that's a story for that's a little deeper than we gonna go today. But let's see what the message is, y'all. Let's see what else we got going on. Yeah, I'm gonna be one of them. I'm gonna be one of them because I understand if the Lord give me an idea to create something, I don't care if it don't work or not. Because you never know which one's gonna actually be the one that's gonna bring you your wealth, your prosperity, your abundance. So every seed that the Lord gives me to plant, guess what? I'ma plant it, drop some seeds, some flowers, and not that kind of flower. That too, if that's what your business is. Okay, if that's what the Lord gives you to do, then do what you do, child. Now, speaking of creativity, I'm just let Ola do it. Here we go. We're going to use the clarity is real today, and then we'll get some Bible clarity and we'll clarity this. Listen, the clarity is real. Creativity, I was just talking about this. Archangel Uriel, the fire of God. This is the angel of wisdom, illumination, clarity, insight. Told y'all, wake me up. What is the Lord giving you to create? Inspiration, creativity, development of intuitive skills and abilities, motivation. Yeah, child, I know it. Can I say which part? I don't be wanting stuff to sound bad, but if you know me, then you know I'ma say what I'ma say. Let me just say this to some of y'all, because there's some folks who think you still sleep, but you woke. Drop it in the chat. I'm woke. I'm woke. I want somebody to understand this. For many of you, the Lord is going to put you in a season where, and I've talked about this before, but TikTok, I know y'all hadn't heard this as much. Just understand this. The Lord gonna put you in a season and he gonna tell you to keep your mouth shut. He gonna put you in a season where he's gonna make you very much aware of things that are going on, but he's also going to tell you, now go in there and act like you don't know nothing. Does that make sense to somebody? Like, the Lord is going to give you a lot of discernment. He's going to increase that as a gift, discernment, because everybody ain't got it. We're talking about intuition as well, y'all. The Lord is going to make you aware of things, but he's going to then tell you to go around people, deal with people, be in environments, and act like you don't know nothing. Does that make sense? Because many of you, they're like people, if people think you don't know, let them play themselves. Don't and you just keep the knowledge and the wisdom and the awareness that the Lord has given you to yourself. Does that make sense? When you Because there are some people that, as long as they think that they know more than you and they think that they're playing you, they think that they're getting over on you, they don't realize that that is actually giving you an advantage. So the Lord is he's going to tell you, now I'm telling you this, but I also, I'm telling you this, but I'm telling you because I want you to be at an advantage, but you don't have to tell everybody the advantages that the Lord has given you. There are some things that the Lord is going to give you that are just for you. So you're gonna have to know, let the enemy play all of his cards, because for some of you, that's what's happening. The enemy is literally trying every tactic, every trick, everything that you just keep. I hope, and I hope this is making sense to somebody. You ain't got to say everything that you know, and just keep playing the game. It's like learning how, and it's unfortunate that we have to do this, but sometimes you just got to act like Zipperhead Fred and be like, yeah, I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing, and act like you don't know what's really happening, but you know that the Lord has revealed some things to you. Does that make sense? and just keep it moving. So I don't know who needs that, but the Lord is he's gonna put you in situations, he's gonna put you around people, and he gonna want you to just look, he gonna want you to just be like, oh, okay, I don't know. And just keep it moving, because ultimately what's happening for some of you, it's like he's teaching you how to pay attention to how the enemy how the enemy shows their hand. Sometimes it's one of those things. It's like it's not even, how do I say that, Lord, it's not even move in silence. Sometimes the more that people talk and the more observant you are. Remember, we started it off with just talking about, like, I just be sitting back and paying attention. Sometimes people not even realizing the things that they're saying will trigger you into something that the Lord then already deposited into your spirituals. So you'll be like, huh, it'll make you think. And then the Lord will be like, yeah, I told you. This is why you just be like, oh, okay, because he's teaching you how to discern. He's teaching you how to notice, because sometimes people talk too much anyway. And so that's why you just keep you he's teaching you how to just play the game. So anyway, I hope that helps somebody. When the Lord starts showing you, he'll start showing you stuff. Pay attention, because people will sometimes give you everything that you need. Okay. Message. Do the work. This is Second Chronicles 15:7. But as for you, be strong and courageous, for your work will be rewarded. So for many of you, as the Lord is giving you new things to create with this Archangel Uriel, who happens to be my personal archangel, these new things to create, you're gonna have to keep showing up and doing the work. Remember, in the beginning of this message, we talked about how I said, and I calculated it, y'all. Um, I calculated it. I'm not the way at the rate that we're reading the Bible, and I don't think I went all the way through it. But at the rate that we're reading the Bible and the Lord saying, are you going to be committed? Come on, Spirit, be committed to doing the work. We will not get to the end of Revelation until March the 31st of 2026. How committed are you to your assignment? How committed are you to what the Lord is asking you to do? Because I was just like, oh wow, because we still been reading the Bible two chapters at a time, I think we would have finished maybe around the end of this year. And I'm maybe not even that, child. I really don't know, because I didn't calculate it then. But hello, dearest one. But when I calculated it out, I was like, wow. But you know what I did? Oh, come on, Spirit. You know what I did? Instead of me looking at it as, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I got to get up like for the next year, because it's almost a year, right? I was like, for the next year, I'm up at 4 a.m. in the morning. I looked at it and said to I started speaking life into what the blessing that the Lord has given me. Does this make sense? So, for as an example, I was just like, man, Lord, I'm booked up until March. That's literally what I said to myself. I was like, and I wrote it down. I was like, oh my gosh, Lord, like, I'm booked until March. Like, I have a show. That's what I called it. I was like, I have a show I'm booked up until March. I'm like, Lord, this is a blessing. And this is what he wants you to start looking at as you're creating your dreams, as he's giving you vision, as he's giving you insight. Instead of looking at it like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I was just like, wow, Lord, like, this is my dream. I got shows that I know. It's like booking is for, as an example, like, imagine getting a contract, right? Getting a contract for me, this being my show. I'm like, man, Lord, like I said, you blessed me with this contract, and now my show is on the air until March the 31st of next year. And who knows where it'll go after that? Who knows if it won't be syndicated? He was showing me, and even in preparation for this message, to start turning your dreams into reality, start speaking it, start living it, instead of looking at it as a burden, which was a number that he gave me. Let me see if I can find it. What number meant burden, y'all? I had to look it up. I looked up something, and it actually meant, man, where is it? The number, it means burden. It means, oh man, where is it? I think it's the number 1117. And I'm on my phone, so I can't look it up in Strong's Concordance, but or may not be, y'all. I'm gonna see if I can find it. But I looked up a number, and the number actually means burden. And but what he was showing me was, instead of it feeling like a burden for what you have to do, looking at it as a gift that he's blessing you to do this work. I'm not going to try to find it. It'll come back to me when I'm not trying to look it up. So for some of you, there's importance in, as he's giving you something to build and grow and create, he wants you to be to look at it as a gift and a blessing that you actually have this opportunity to do it. Okay. It's 11:17. Okay, thank you. That number and this, okay, thank you, Jared, because the reason, because I keep on getting the number 11:17, and he hasn't, like the other day it took me to the book of Hebrews, but it's something else because it keeps on showing up. And so I'm like, okay, Lord, I don't know what it is yet that he's trying to show me. I saw it yesterday, as a matter of fact, and I was like, okay, Lord, what you trying to show me? And I ended up looking up the number 11:17, and it means burden. It means burden or load. So he was showing, and even now as he's just giving me revelation on that, it's like, don't look at what he's blessing you to do. Message, what he's blessing you to do is not a burden, it's actually a gift, right? Make me believe it, Lord, make me believe it. Drop it in the chat, make me believe it. Authenticity, tell the truth, receiving what you prayed for. True story. So for some of you, this is the Lord getting ready to make you a believer, to understand that whatever he's giving you to do, whatever your assignment is, whatever he's blessing you to create, he's going to make a believer out of you. And it's not always easy, because sometimes you feel like you're toiling. Sometimes you feel like you're just doing, like, is this ever going to pay off? But it is. It's going to show up, and it's going to bear fruit, because the Lord wouldn't have given it to you if he didn't have a purpose for it. But you have to continue to believe in it and trust in your process and trust in what the Lord is giving you. Trust in the fact that it is going to do exactly what he wants it to do. His word will not return to him void, and his word always produces fruit. Okay. It's always going to produce the exact result that he wants to happen. So, some of you, this is an answered prayer in regards to what you have been creating. The fact that you just kept pushing up this mountain, and sometimes it truly feels like this, like when we're trying to move up or move into our next level, the weight can get a little heavy. But this also happens. This also is coming in with the spiritual support that you have, and allowing the Lord to do the heavy lifting, and understanding that I say this anytime we get this, that you're the boulder and this is the Lord pushing you. Does that make sense? If you can, what he's trying to, it feels like what he's doing in this message is trying to help you to change your perspective and look at things in a different way. Just like he mentioned, instead of looking at it like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be up early every morning and for another year, which is nothing uncommon, looking at it like, oh my gosh, I'm busy for the next year. Like, my mornings are booked. My morning show is on. My morning show is getting out there. The message is getting out there, right? And then, so that's like one example of perspective. The other perspective is looking at you as the weight, and the Lord holding you up, the Lord pushing you forward, the Lord helping you to make progress, the Lord pushing you up this mountain. A lot of times we need a little extra push, right? We need that motivation. We need to, and that's when you come in and say, Lord, strengthen me a lot, like, carry me, help me, Lord, carry me, because many times he's carrying us as we're doing the work, right? So some of you, because of the fact that you continue to show up and do the work, he's getting ready to make a believer out of you and make you know, like, you weren't doing this for nothing, right? So, oh, let's do it. Let's see what else. Let's use the Bible Clarity Deck. Tell the truth, shame the devil. Let me just say this: if it's worth having, you're gonna have to build it. Drop it in the chat. I'm gonna build it. I'm gonna build it. If it's worth having, it's worth building. You don't want something because you realize the more time that you're willing to put into something, and this is speaking a lot to creativity, y'all. When you know that you didn't put work into something, and then I remember I talked about earlier, this means something to me. Like, what I'm doing, this is important to me. The work, the assignment that the Lord has given me, this is important to me. Everything that the Lord has blessed me to create, it is important to me. So I'm not, ain't no play about it. When you build something, child, listen, what? I wish somebody would. When it's something that you're just like, yeah, it's whatever. If it's something somebody else built, you don't care. You don't care as much about that. You don't care when it's somebody else's dream or vision or nothing. I talked about this earlier. You don't care about that because your name ain't on it. It's not a reflection on you. You may show up. Now, you should be proud of it. If the Lord has blessed you with a job, I need everybody to commit to doing the very best you can on that job, because having that job is a blessing. And there are many people, there are many people who are looking for work, who are not in a season where the Lord has them on their entrepreneurial journey, or they're, they have a business that supports them. Everybody ain't there yet, right? So if the Lord has blessed you with a job, you need to commit to that job and go to work and do the very best that you can. Wherever the Lord has you at, you need to do the very best that you can. You need to be committed to giving it your all, because understand, and one of the ways the Lord will make you understand this is because some of you, one day you're going to have something with your name on it. It's going to be your business, and you're going to have to hire people, and you're going to want people to do great. You're going to want to hire the right people. You get a business, now all of a sudden you're scaling. Now you have people that you're in charge of, and you're going to want them people to come in and do their work. So remember that this may, right where you are right now is not your end destination. This is where you are now. So if you have a job working for somebody, you need to go to work and do the very best you can for them people, because when it's your business and now you got people who you hiring in, you're going to want them to do the very best for you. Start planning and thinking ahead to your future instead of your present. Does that make sense? We're living in the present, but this is still only temporary, and everything, and even right now it's already past, it's already your past. Does that make sense? Here we go. All to do it. It's already your past. Six of Swords. So we're still in this transition season, y'all. This is moving into a new time, into a new place, into all new everything. We talk about the parting of the Red Sea. It's a pivotal story from the book of Exodus where Moses is leading the Israelites out, and they're fleeing from Egypt. Commanded by God to stretch out his staff over the Red Sea, he caused the waters to miraculously divide, allowing the Israelites to walk through on dry land. Can somebody drop this in the chat? I just got, I'm safe. I'm safe. I don't know if that's something that you have been praying for or worried about. It's the same thing that the Lord has said when he said he's leading you, just like he led the Israelites by a pillar of fire or a cloud. When he says that he's got your back and he's supporting you, you got to know that you're safe. But this comes back to that trust that you have to put in the Lord to lead you exactly where he wants you to go. And many times, because it's stormy, because it's chaotic, it's like this is, and me and my daughter have this joke of a video, a TikTok she sent me, where it was this, I don't even know who it was, but it was like, just hold my hand, just hold my hand. The Lord is not going to let go of your hand, especially in the storm. But you have to let him lead you even then. You have to let him lead you out of the storm, y'all. You have to let him guide you, and he will do that. He will give you signs and wonders and confirmations to let you know. Come on, the pillar of fire. He will give you different things to let you know that you're safe in the fire, you're safe in the storm, you're safe in the chaos. So many of you, you're transitioning out of this new season. You're starting your journey into the promised land. And yes, it's a journey. And yes, when you get there, you're still going to have to show up and do the work. Like, that part does not change. Um, so he's wanting us to be prepared for that as he's stepping you into your new. Okay, what else, Lord? And child, listen, come on, 811. Now, I'm because we get it so much, and I don't know what else. I don't know what else to. I feel like we get this card so much. I'm gonna pull two more. Um, because we get the Page of Cups. We've been getting the Page of Cups so much. And I'll be like, Lord, because I'm listening to you, Lord, but we getting so much because many of you are stepping into your destiny. And one thing about the Lord, y'all, he's not going to change the message just to make it feel good to somebody, just to make it be what somebody wants to hear. Do you realize that a lot of times one of the easiest things that happens, again, because they're giving me tactics. One of the things that happens is you get discouraged when you're doing the work. You get discouraged when you're building. Because sometimes I ask the Lord, even as the cards are coming out, I'm like, Lord, we keep getting the same thing. This is probably the 17th time we done got the Page of Cups. Why? Because many of you are in the process of building your dreams. You're in the process of stepping into your calling. And come on, Spirit, the reason he's going to keep reiterating and repeating what he needs to be said is because this is the time of transition. Come on, Lord, the time of transition, the time when you're stepping into something new is the time when you're the most vulnerable. So he's not going to change the message. He has to keep encouraging, he has to keep supporting, he has to keep nourishing so that you don't become defeated as you're working towards creating something new. Many of you are in the beginning parts of of a creation, something of building, of growing, of transitioning, of movement. And it's in this time that the enemy is going to come at you the most. And a lot of you, this is warfare that is new to you. This is things that you haven't experienced before. And so the Lord is going to continue to give you what you need in order to move forward, in order to keep pushing. Because the first thing we'll say is, man, why do you keep repeating this, Lord? Why I want you to repeat I want the Lord to encourage me. I want him to continue to show up and give me what it is that I need so that I won't get discouraged and give up the fight. Drop this in the chat. I won't give up. Like, we're not going to give up, y'all. He has to encourage us to keep moving forward, to do the work, because the enemy is going to use everything possible. It's another reason why we start our day with the Lord. It's why the Lord said, come on here and give this message early, so that as he sends you out into the world, you're equipped, you're prepared, you've gotten fed, you understand, you spent your time with him. Some of you, if you don't get up early and do Bible study, that's okay. He puts things in place so that you can be prepared to go out and conquer and take on the world. Does that make sense? And so it's not for a want of me being repetitive, but the Lord is going to encourage you each and every day to make sure that you're going to continue to fight and go forth and do the work. The destiny that he's calling you into, it's so much bigger than you message. And he needs you to be supported. He needs you to be encouraged in this moment so that you won't give up, that you'll keep fighting. Okay. The Page of Cups, this talks about Samuel. This is about calling. It's about destiny. This is when Samuel was being called. Many of you, you've tried something multiple times, or he's called you multiple times. He's called you into something multiple times. And this is about you answering and accepting that call. So let's see what else. Child, let me shuffle again. Hold on. Because I'm just like, man, we keep getting this card, but because the energy is not going to change, the message can't change until you take that step. For some of you, the message can't change until you answer the call. For some of you, the message can't change, won't change until you understand that he knows that you've tried it 3, 4, 7 times. He understands that, but that doesn't mean that it won't be successful this time. Because for some of you, maybe he's given you something a couple of times and you just like, man, I didn't try that and it didn't work. Try again. I just heard the Lord say, try again. Drop it in the chat. Like, I'm going to try again. A lot of times, whoever this part of the message is for, a lot of times when you're building something, you're not going to get it right the first time. You're not going to have the awareness, the understanding, the insight. You're not always going to get it right. I told the Lord yesterday as as me and him were talking, I was like, man, I done tried so many things. I tried so many things until I finally got it right. It took me a minute. It took me going and trying to do real estate. I went to try to do insurance. I tried to do all of these things. And ultimately, that was not the calling that the Lord had on my life. And so until I decided, hey sis, love you. Until I decided, like, okay, Lord, I'm gonna let you lead me where you want me to go. It wasn't until then that he's just like, okay, now you got it right. So you're going to try multiple things and you're not always going to get it right. You're going to fail a few times. And that's okay if you fail a few times, right? You're supposed to. You're supposed to fail. You ain't supposed to get it right every time you begin something, but you got to keep moving forward. Okay. Shout out Aaliyah. If at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. Okay. Here we go. We have the 6 of Cups that is coming in. This is forgiveness, reconciliation. This is talking about Joseph being sold into slavery. Many of you, drop it in the chat. This is from the pit to the palace. Okay, this is from the pit to the palace that's happening for many of you. This is another card for me of transition. It's another card of moving forward. This in particular speaks of when now. Some of you remember we talked about, because thank you, Spirit. Like, you're finna get ready to be in a position where you're going to be able to pull some people up. So the Lord is going to for some of you, He's going to be focusing on your heart posture, because He wants you to, when you get to the top, He needs you to be willing to to look back and pull some people up with you. He's not going to raise you to a level of success for selfish gain. He's raising you up because He's going to prepare your heart to be a blessing to other people in whatever way He's going to give you to do that. Okay. He's speaking in terms of Joseph with this, because Joseph, remember, his brothers and everybody, where after they had did the dog to him, they did him dirty, and then he was able to help them in some way. He was able to give back to them. As bad as they did him, he didn't, it's like he didn't hold it against them. Now, he made them go down through there a little bit. He tested them. Basically, what he did was he did to them what they had done to him. Right? They made, he, as he kept his brother, as a slave, all of these things that they had already done to him, he made them. And it was a, come on, Spirit, it was a test, because what he was actually doing was trying to see, had they changed. And thank God for God, they had. They were actually repentant of what they had done to him. But he wanted to test to see if they were still the same person, if their character had developed as a result of what they had done to him. And it had. But that was a big part of why he did all of the things to them that he did, to make them experience what he had experienced. And also, it was a test from the Lord to make sure that their character had changed. So for some of you, this is how you gonna like be and understand. You're gonna have to be good to some folks that don't like you. You're gonna have to, the Lord is gonna require you to be good to folks who weren't good to you. Just saying. Forgiveness. Let me go back here. Joseph, after being sold into slavery by his jealous brothers, rises to a powerful position in Egypt, and later, despite the great wrong done to him, forgives his brothers, explaining that God used their evil intentions for good by allowing him to save many lives, demonstrating a profound act of grace and reconciliation. Through God's intervention, Joseph's family comes to Egypt, unknowingly encountering their long lost brother. Joseph eventually reveals his identity and assures his brothers that he holds no grudge, explaining that God orchestrated events before. Look, remember, we were just talking about like thinking forward. The Lord already knew what was going to happen, so He put Joseph in a position that he would later, at a later time, be able to help. At a later time, be able to be a blessing. This is the importance of continuing to show. This is why, because you don't even realize the weight that the Lord is going to put on you, like how many people you're going to have to carry, y'all. Like you're gonna have to be able to hold the weight. You're gonna have to be able to carry some folks, to carry some things. And so this is why the Lord will prepare you and give you, feels like things like life be life and life get heavy, but He's preparing you to be able to hold the weight. And you don't even realize the weight He's going to put on you until He actually steps you into it. So just know that if you think that what your burden, the load, come on, Spirit, the number 1117. This is why he's talking about the burden, the weight that you're going to be able to carry, the things that you're going to have to be able to hold, the people you're going to have to hold on your shoulders. It's bigger than you. And that's why for many of you, your destiny, your calling, what he's giving you to do, he's got to prepare you for it. He's got to prepare you for where he's taking you. So this is the importance of understanding that in this place that you are right now, yes, he's going to add additional weight to you. He's going to put new things on your shoulders, but he's not going to move you forward until he knows that you're able to hold that weight, until that you're able to hold that in the place that you are. Okay. Good morning. Let's see what we got here. What's next? This is the last one, then we'll clarity it. Let's see. Oh, let's do it. Message. I kid y'all not. I be feeling like I don't shuffle these cards. We have Abraham that's coming out. This is the star. This is faith, right? We know that Abraham is the father of faith. This is connection that's coming through as well. Some of you now, this is for some, this ain't everybody, but this is for somebody. You have a destiny of actually, I don't know if in some way you're going to be a celebrity again. This may not be, but for one or two of you, you may have aspirations of some kind of way. I don't know, maybe you want to, I don't know, child, what you want to do or what your dreams are, but there's something attached to you. I don't know if it's in the form of you being a help to stars or celebrities, or if you're just going to be a celebrity yourself. But some of you, there's something, this is like you having some type of something about your destiny and something about stars. And I can't even see it all because the Lord won't allow me to. But it's something about you being either you're going to be a star or you're going to be attached to stars, or or maybe it's stars, and we are all stars. Let me just say that. Just because we see people on social media and TV, all of that, that does not make them a star. You have to understand that you are on your own little personal star, right? um this is about, but this is like some of you, this is a part of your destiny, so the Lord is actually preparing you for this. This could also be like why your training has been, I don't know, has been what it is, because you have a debt, like, as something, this may be something that's coming at a later time, but you have something that's associated with you being seen and recognized, and people will actually be looking to you as a star, as a celebrity, or something like that. So if that's something that the Lord has, He may be revealing that to you. Stars may be important in some sort of way. So just pay attention for that. Okay. Abraham was the first Hebrew patriarch and a prophet who was called by God to leave his home and establish a new nation. God told Abram to leave his home. This is so crazy. This is crazy, y'all. We talked about the number 1213, and the call of Abram is actually what's on this card. This is actually talking about Abram. So this is a confirmation for Jared. But God told Abram to leave his home and people and go to a land that God would show him. God promised to make Abram, oh my gosh, I'm finna tell y'all. And God promised to make Abram into a great nation, to bless him and make his name great. He is considered the father of faith and the first person to teach that there is only one God. His faith is characterized by obedience, trust, and faithfulness. So this morning, the next thing that the Lord told me to go and study is Isaiah 44 and 20, 44:26. And it actually talks about the Lord will confirm his word through his messengers. And so I study in the mornings, I study for Bible clarity. But this morning, I was like, Lord, where are you sending me next? And he actually is sending me to study Isaiah 44, because Isaiah 44:26, and I have it in my notes, it talks about him confirming his word through his messenger. So insofar as, and I literally have Isaiah 44 written there because that's my next thing to do. Let me see what I wrote and then I'll tell y'all. No, that's Galatians. Hold on. If I can find it, and then I can tell y'all what was around it and where I was at, because it might be important on this for somebody. Okay. It was the promise of the Father of Christ. Christ as mediator has an eye to God as his Father, as our Father, who, if he gives us the adoption of sons, okay, the promise of the Father they had heard from Christ many a time. This confirms the promise of God. It encourages us to depend on it, that we have heard it from Jesus Christ, for in him all the promises of God are yes and amen. You have heard it from me, and I will make good on it. He shall baptize you with the Holy Ghost, shall teach you by his Spirit, and give his Spirit to make intercession for you. He confirms the word of his servants, his messengers. And then he gave me Isaiah 44:26. It is an honor to be employed in the dispensing means of grace, but it's Christ's prerogative to give the spirit of grace. So for some of you, there's some sort of confirmation. I don't know what he's confirming for you. And um there's some kind of confirmation that he's getting ready to send in. This could be confirmation of a move. This can be confirmation that the blessing is coming. You just may have to wait on it and continue to have faith. Okay. um Let me clear to this and then we finna be done. Good morning, Cherie. Good morning. Sending you, I didn't see your message, but sending you so much love, light, and healing energy. I see they are giving you some support in the chat. So sending you so much love, light, and healing energy, dearest one, with what you are dealing with. Look at God. Here we go. What's happening? Transitions, y'all. These transitions, it don't get easier, it gets harder when the Lord is stepping you into something new. But it's about knowing that He's here with you. We have royalty that is coming in next. I'm tracking Isaiah 9:7. Of the greatness of His government and peace there will be no end. He will reign on David's throne and over His kingdom, establishing and upholding it with justice and righteousness from that time on and forever. The zeal of the Lord Almighty will accomplish this. This is an authority, supremacy, royal robes, majesty, greatness. So for some of you, this is like taking your rightful place. Some of you, this is definitely greatness that the Lord is sending you into. He's stepping you into the seat, the table that He has prepared for you. This is also about you recognizing who you are and Him giving you the authority. Thank you, Lord. That's going with this Abraham card. Many of you, He's setting you up to rule. And we talked about dominion the other day. The Lord will give all of us different things that He wants us to take dominion over. So for many of you, it's like He's putting you in place. There's some, come on, Spirit, there's some triumph. I don't know for whoever this is for. He's talking about there's a triumph. Some of you, there's some way that you've defeated an enemy. There's some victory. I don't know. Mm-mm. There's some enemy or some defeat that you have, some advantage that you have gained. It's almost like they're giving me the word thwarting. So it's something you've done. And we talked about tactics earlier, but there's some kind of way, something you've done, something you're doing that's actually putting you a step above the enemy. You not falling for the foolishness, you not falling for it, you not allowing it to change your character. There have been tests against your integrity and your character, and whatever way you've handled a situation, however you have allowed the Lord to handle it for you, it's like people are starting to see the truth of who you are in some sort of way simply because of how you handle the situation. So I don't know what it is or how you did something different or move different or some instruction that the Lord gave you a way to handle something, and however you handle it, come on, Spirit, however you handled it, by allowing the Lord to guide you through it, it's actually it's like showing that you have more integrity than somebody else, or just how somebody else is moving. I don't know. Let's see what else. Telling you, we have the ruler that's coming in next. Psalm 103:19. The Lord has established His throne uh, of in heaven, and His kingdom rules over all. The throne, ruler, dominion, queen, royalty, authority. I'm telling you right now, whoever this is, the Lord is putting you. I don't know. Oh, this is the celebrity part. For some of you, like there is some authority, dominion. This is for whoever this is who's going into, like, He may be putting you in a position. This don't just have to be like a celebrity, but this could be like some position of leadership, of power, that because He knows that you're going to rule effectively. He knows that as you step into your calling, as He's sending you into this new beginning, into what it is that where He's placing you, He knows that you're going to do the right thing. So this is, and we've been talking about this shift, and I've heard it a couple of times in other places. He told me that they're like for sure was crazy. He told me that there are going to be some major changes in 2026. I do not know exactly what all of those are, but there are people who we're going to see rise to greatness, and other people that we're going to see that are going to be lowered, because the Lord is putting new kings in place, new kings and queens in place. So just don't be surprised as you get ready to, like, as He's raising you up, like He's putting you in a position where you're going to be significant, and whatever it is, it doesn't have to be like a star, but this may be in your job, this could be in your house, I don't know, whatever it is, just take it how it resonates. But He's definitely putting some people, He's raising some people up. Let's see what else. I don't know. But this is why the last week we were talking a lot about pride and not allowing your pride to get the best of you, not allowing yourself to get puffed up, because we know that nothing happens that is not a result of what the Lord gives. He gives us the power, the authority, the courage, the strength, the everything. You can't do nothing without him. And just like he will lift people up, he will also he will also take them low. So just know that if he raises you up, just remember how you got there. Remember the job that he's given you to do, the responsibility. This is why you got to be able to hold the weight, because he's going to put you in a position where you're going to have to lift others up as well. You're going to have to carry some folks. Message overflow. Okay. And I think that's it. John 3, 5, and 6. Jesus answered, very truly, I tell you, no one can enter the kingdom of God unless they are born of water and the spirit. Flesh gives birth to flesh, but the spirit gives birth to spirit. This is bearing fruit. Told y'all this is in regards to doing the work. Beginning, blessed, producing, bringing forth fertility. This is the season for that. This is definitely, and then you have, this is the spiritual support we were talking about with the ancestors coming in, Mark 10 and 15. Truly, I tell you, anyone who will not receive the kingdom of God like a little child will never enter it. This is, then we talk about check on your people. Check on your people. Okay, check on your people. Make sure everybody's good. Make sure everybody's like it. Everybody's good, because you never know. The people who are the strongest often need the help. This literally says family, children, baby sister, brother, mother, father, kindred, bloodline, descendants, generational relatives. Told y'all, check on your people. Okay, that just confirms that message. So thank you, Lord. We receive it. Check on your people. Some of you are getting ready to be the person that's going to help everybody in your family. So again, this is why the Lord, this preparation is so necessary, because you got to be able to carry this weight. And yes, it's a lot of responsibility, but it's the same thing. Just like Joseph down here, this is what you were destined for. There are some people in your family who are getting ready to be believers as well. Maybe they didn't believe, or maybe, and it's easy for our family not to have faith, because they don't understand, they don't know what the Lord has shown you. But this is about you knowing that what you're doing is actually a blessing for them and helping them as well. um Stay strong in your faith. That's the one thing. And yes, for many of you, you're getting ready to start producing fruit. You're like, this is something very significant for your destiny. So I don't know what the Lord is telling you to create, but He's gonna keep telling you to create it until you get it done, until you at least take the first step towards it. And don't be discouraged about how much work it's going to take, how long it's going to take. Don't be discouraged by that. Just know that it's going to be worth the work. It's going to be worth it. So you just, but this is also very significant to help you transition into your new space, into a new part of yourself, into your new beginning. Like, this is the step that is necessary in order to start the ball, like to get the ball rolling. They're saying, like, get the ball rolling. You got to take a step or do something to show the Lord that you're ready for these open doors and opportunities to start showing up for you. You have to show him that you're ready and willing to do the work. So this is why the discipline and the commitment are going to be so necessary, because it's going to take some time to build. He's trying to light and inspire someone to be more creative. Maybe you have felt blocked, or maybe because all the chaos and the things that have been going on have kind of stopped you from taking action, creating. But he's getting ready to, this is why the importance of removing the distractions and being very focused on this thing that the Lord is asking you to do. Um, this would just be a confirmation for some of you. For some of you, this is about strengthening your faith as well. For others of you, because you're in a waiting season, sometimes the Lord don't have you doing anything. But even if He doesn't really have you moving, that doesn't mean that you're still not doing anything. This is building that relationship with Him, giving Him that time, because this is it. Even the stillness is a part of the prep work. Even the stillness is a part of the training. And for some of you, He's going to slow you down so that you understand that there are going to be times when He needs you to be still, and He needs you to just be in communion with Him and talking to Him. And that's just as important as the busyness that comes when we're moving, and he has this, and he changes our season. So he'll add, but he also needs to make sure that you're going to be solidified and giving him that time and giving him the opportunity to speak with you. So for some of you, stillness is going to be important, especially to help you get peace in your spirit about the storms or the chaos that may be happening as you're transitioning into this next season. As he's leveling you up, you're going to have to give him that time, and get still to allow him to deposit what he needs to deposit into you, be it strength, be it courage, be it encouragement, whatever you need from him. He's trying to just make sure that he has all the bases covered. So you have to make sure that you're paying attention. When he tells you to slow down, slow down. When he tells you to go, you need to go. When he tells you that he needs you to come higher, you're going to have to do the, like, whatever the work is. And sometimes the work is stillness, and sometimes the work is, okay, now it's time to run. Whatever the work is, he just needs you to make sure that you're staying obedient to those instructions. And that's how you're going to start to see the cycles. We go through cycles of ebbs and flows, but he needs you to start understanding that everything happens in cycles, everything happens in seasons. You're not always going to be super busy. Sometimes you're going to have that ebb. So you just have to understand. And this is how we begin to get into God's flow, and understanding the way that he works, if that makes sense. I think that's it. That's it. That's it. That's all I got, y'all. That's it for that. Yeah. Yep, that's it. Some of you, you may feel like, be very, like, a lot more connected to your spirit team. And this is, and even one of the ways that the Lord has been talking to me about this, he showed me the significance of how from Passover to Pentecost, I take it back. Yeah, is it, I think it's 50 days. From Passover to Pentecost is 50 days. So for some of you, how do I do it? Which part of that do I explain? The next, it's like the next 50 days are going to be significant. And again, this is more for people who are a little further along in their walk. Like maybe being consistent. You really, you like, you may have in the next, up until Pentecost, like you may have, which is June the 8th. Okay, so up until June the 8th, some of you, there may be a cycle that's completing around that time for you. Um, because, and so you may just find different things, like a lot of significant things that happen for you from within the next 40 to 50 days. So just pay attention to the things that the Lord is giving you, what he's saying, because June the 8th may be a significant transition point for you as well. Okay. I hope that makes sense. I think that, yeah, that was it for that. This may just be a pivotal time. So there may be a cycle or a season that you're in right now that may actually be, um not my baby is due on June the 8th. OMG. Well, I don't know about that. But for some of you, it could be giving birth. Congratulations, hunty, onesie. Okay. Um, this is like it's like a significant transition that'll be happening around that time. And it doesn't have to be specific just to that day, y'all. This could be like in that time frame. So I don't really do timing because divine timing is up to the Lord, but he's giving that as a marker for where there may be a significant point of transition out of or into something else, if that makes sense. So just be aware of that. If you, yeah, because I don't know, he doesn't, it's just being willing to wait. So just know these next few weeks may be kind of like, oh, maybe like, oh my gosh, I can't take it. But just know he's transitioning you into something. Okay. That's it. That's all I got. Lord, I hope this helps somebody. um yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Lord, I hope this helps somebody. Y'all, hydrate your soul in things, drink your water, say your gratitude. Have a fantastic and an amazing day in purpose, on purpose. And I will see y'all on the next one. Go be great and amazing, do great and amazing things. And I'll see y'all in the morning. I love y'all in real life. And make sure you subscribe to the stream on Spotify as well.